My name's Chris.
And I'm Kristie.
This is the Washing Up Podcast, and it's celebration, or should they be calibration week?
Calibration week.
Calibration week, I know it was supposed to be like celebration of Cal.
Yeah.
But it just feels, calibration week just feels like a week for everyone to get their bearings about them.
Yes.
Work out how the ovens work, which is a bit late in week 5.
Look, it might have also been, Cal checking in with everyone going, okay, are you sure you know where you are?
Yep.
This is the Bake-Off shed.
Do you know where you are?
Yep. Do you know which way's north?
Exactly. All these sorts of things,
Yes, Who's the current Prime Minister?
Are your feet placed firmly on the ground?
Yes. Are you on Mars? No. Correct answer.
Well, no, you may continue.
Yes.
So, obviously, Celebration Week, which is one of those weeks where you can pretty much throw anything in as a challenge and just say it's for something.
Look, I feel like it's, if you remember Robin Hood Men in Tights, it's the week where, Rabbi Tuck rocks up with his wine and is basically like, there are trees to bless, there are rocks to bless.
Yep, exactly. We can bless everything.
We can bless everything.
So, we're going to start with matters arising from previous meetings.
Okay. What is it? Agenda item 1?
Yep. So I was visited this week by a little bird.
Oh.
It was a little bird.
So it wasn't that massive vulture that we just had land on the balcony and...
No, it wasn't that one. A little bird told me that it's... And again, this has been contentious all series. Lorena.
Okay, so her name is Lorena.
Lorena.
Okay.
Not
Lorena.
No, Lorena. Now, this is a little bird that told me this, and thank you, little bird, for giving me that update. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, apparently we apparently we can become Starbucks baristas.
100% we can. Speaking of that, though, her dress this week was outstanding.
That was my favourite dress. It did look like her skull, because it was like her hair on the skulls. And
I also love when she then puts the apron on, you get the mix of the donut apron with the skulls.
Yes.
It's a great combo. So, we open with the signature, because we are still doing signatures.
Yes.
Who knew after the last few weeks? It's Sarawak.
Yep.
4 colours, 2 hours, 15 minutes.
I think we saw this on Canadian,
Yep.
I want to say. Yeah. Great bake. I like the little bit of ode to what was the one that comes in a roll when they paint it on? You know what I'm talking about? Chic torta.
Yes.
It's a little chic torta-ish, but a lot more. It's like, this is not business casual layer cake.
It's Battenberg light.
Yeah, it's Battenberg.
Unless you're Arvin, and then it's just Battenberg. Yeah. But we'll get to that. Now, we should probably raise it at the start.
Okay.
They were talking about the importance of 4 colours.
Yes.
Not flavour, just colour.
Colour. Like, I understand it's a celebration cake, and I understand that you want that pop to come through, but the signature's always about flavour profiles.
Yes.
Like, you want it also to be uniform and all that kind of stuff too, and pretty, but it's usually where we see some hardcore, experimentation with flavour.
I mean, and we'll get to the one who experimented the most later on. We won't tell everyone yet.
No.
But we will get to the person that
Keep
really...
that powder dry.
We'll get to the person that pushed the boat out this week and experiment. Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh my God. We'll get there. But
Comfort zone, way out.
But we'll start with Peralta.
Yes.
Who... Peralta opened this episode by going, it's like, whoa.
Yep.
Celebration. And it was probably the most Peralta he has sounded in the whole series.
It is, and it's wonderful, and I think it's a fitting opening for his ending,
It is a great opening for his ending. Is That sounds far filthier than it should have.
So sorry, Jason, we're not sure.
Look, we're congratulating you on a wonderful opening to your ending. Congratulations.
No, I'm not going there.
Let's move on.
Move this on. Move it quite right along.
Let's power on to Dimmy, who was going with orange, lemon, and lime, and it was all coated in citrus buttercream. Now later on they said orange, lemon, and lime works really well together as a flavour profile, and of course it does. It's fucking citrus. And that's not a shot at Dimmy. It was just a really interesting, the orange, lemon, and lime work so well together. Yeah, they do.
Okay, I'm going to bring it up now because I think it's going to become more and more evident as this
Yep.
goes on and whatever. I am concerned about the judges, like, and
When we mentioned it last week.
yeah, we did. I just want to note it again tonight that we need that balance, we need that authenticity, and you know, you can be kind and positive without just being
Yeah, because it undercuts the judging when
positive.
it undercuts the judging when you're trying so hard to be so positive about things to the point where you go, well, were they really actually critiquing anything?
Yeah. And I think maybe it's just an exercise in vocab. Like if you think to someone like Mary Berry or Maggie,
Yeah.
they might say something along the lines of the lime, lemon, and orange is a classic flavor combo,
Yep.
and that's why it works so well, and I love its use here.
Yeah.
Like that is one way to say it. It's like, oh, I love that. It's like it's not new. It's not
Yeah.
like. Yeah,
And then you can talk about the level to which they've used it well. So the flavour is great in terms of those
Yeah.
profiles together. How have you used it? And then you debate it.
Yeah, you've created it in a balanced way. It's
Yeah.
working well on how you've used it in this particular bake. Yeah.
Arvin approached this very interestingly. So he approached, apart from the fact that, as we'll get to, he basically made a Battenberg, which is a very different cake.
Is there some beef between the Philippines and Malaysia? Like, is he like...
And that's why he decided to make a very sort of Germanic British cake.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? No, our celebration cakes are much better and we don't get the airtime we deserve, and I'm just doing this in protest.
So, now the reason why I said he approached this in a really interesting way was he told the judges straight up, I'm doing something tricky. This is tricky. I'm doing something tricky. You don't need to restate that. Also, it feels a little bit like you expect it to not work. And so you try to convince them it's really hard.
Just back yourself, Arwen.
Yeah, I haven't just back it.
You got Star Baker last week. Like, just back yourself.
Yeah. So, going with orange juice and orange zest and a checkerboard pattern. Now, though he was worried, I think, about the amount of overboard orange. The problem was more the fact that it was a checkerboard pattern and it was a Battenberg. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, raspberry and lime, and he just said he was keeping it really simple flavours. But as we all know, if you do simple flavours, they've got to be really good.
Look, I don't think they're simple flavors because I think raspberry is probably one of the most difficult ones.
Yeah.
And lime as well. Like to get a proper.
It's not like you're using citrus.
Look, you are with the lime, but I feel like whenever you get something raspberry, you know, I don't know. Like if you use the powdered raspberry, that's always delicious. But yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah, I think you can go overboard.
Now, for those people,
and lose your lime.
Speaking of,
you don't want to lose your lemon limer.
Dear lemon limer. Speaking of going overboard, Adrian's going with some coconut rum. I love the fact that Adrian really tonight was struggling to bake anything that did not feature booze.
Well, we know where the still has ended up.
Coconut rum with a neon heart in the middle. Now, cool idea.
Yeah.
Is it a Sarawak?
Well, the whole thing, right?
Because it seems like it. And look, and we all know I love Adrian, right? But we did get stuck into. They did get stuck into Arvin later on for
About
it
it
not being a Sarawak. It was a Battenberg.
Yeah.
Jason went with Adrian went with just a central heart design.
That's not a Sarawak.
Is it a Sarawak?
Not a Sarawak.
Not a Sarawak. So,
Yeah.
Welcome to Australia's fastest growing game show.
Sarawak
or not.
Yes. Battenberg, not a Sarawak.
No. Heart cake?
Not a Sarawak.
Not a Sarawak.
Yeah.
Also, I think it was... I'm going to go back briefly. I think it was Arvin's. When he was wrapping it the first time, the decoration on the outside, it made it look in shadows like he was wrapping in a tortilla.
Yes.
I thought at one point he was wrapping his whole cake in a tortilla.
It's going to be a burrito Sarawak.
No,
Sarawak.
We can't have Mexican.
You can have any kind of thing in a tortilla and call it a burrito.
But we can't have Mexican. Because Ryan went home last week, and as we know,
Yeah.
Ryan loves Mexican.
That's where
Because he got married in Canada.
Yes, that is true. Maybe he had some leftover burritos and he just
Gave
left
them as
behind.
gifts
Yeah.
as he was leaving. Here, remember my Canadian wedding.
Yes,
Why do I have this tortilla? No, I said.
I got a jar of salsa. It's got product of Mexico scrubbed out and product of Canada written in.
Now, Lorena,
Yes.
she was making a temple. And
Yes.
basically she was making a cake version of a bomb. Because she had the meringue.
Yes.
Then vanilla, coconut, and rum. Again, lots of booze.
Deliciousness.
This was
Yeah.
lots of booze.
Maybe the still's grown and it's just taking over different benches. It's got to avoid Molly's though. We can't have
Underage
Molly's. Molly's got she's got the tiled area that she's not allowed past.
How the hell did Molly sample like any of the cakes from like the technical, for example?
Well,
Like,
if they're cooked out, if the booze is cooked out, yes. I mean, I remember.
Kirsch cream's not cooked out booze.
No, but we've all had that kind of stuff growing up, like chantilly cream with a bit of brandy in it with your strawberries and stuff. Like, maybe, I mean, I'm assuming, like, she'd be a little bit more protected because the Gen whatevers these days,
All these days,
the young people
when
these
they're
days,
hipping and they're hopping and they're
Yes.
bipping and they're bopping.
I saw an article that was
You saw an article.
What is the future of Australia, of the alcohol industry now that the Gen Zs aren't drinking as much? And I'm thinking,
It's up shit creek.
no, boutique is the way to go. You want to make it exclusive. You want to just hire people to stand in a line in front of your shop. You want to Instagram it. And have a random influencer who drives a Maserati and smashes it into a wall.
Now, speaking of
Endorse it. Yeah?
16-year-olds
Yes.
and Molly,
Yes.
I had an intense pineapple phase. Now, she was reminiscing on this.
As if it was years ago. Which, when you're 16, like, you think about it, if that was her when she was 8, that was half her life ago, which is a long time. I mean, half my life ago was when I was 22. So, there's...
It's just, for me, it's the level of... It's the way that people would talk about having, like, bangs. Or the way that someone would talk about flares.
Yeah.
Or grunge. Or being an emo. Or a goth. Or a punk. I had an intense pineapple phase.
You know what it is? She got involved, like, 2 of her other friends started with a pen phase and an apple phase. And she came in with the pineapple.
Yeah, so they had a pen. One had an apple. Apple pen.
Yeah, one had a...
Yeah, and then it became pen, pineapple, apple pen, yeah.
Yes.
And that's how she got in. Look, I mean...
Yeah.
Look, it starts easy. It starts with citrus.
It's a slippery slope, people.
Starts from citrus.
You get yourself a mandarin.
Then it starts being tropical.
Off. You get yourself a mango.
Oh,
It's a gateway.
It's the
gateway fruit.
The mango. A gateway fruit.
Yeah. And then along comes Picataro.
Oh, God.
Picataro Prap with his pen, pineapple, apple pen.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, Elliot
Yes.
decided to, as many British have done, decided to colonise the Sarawak. And he made it a chocolate orange.
Because he was talking about, it's like, this is going to be my version of it. But he's looked like a Sarawak. Like, I didn't see him...
No, but he said, I don't even know really what a Sarawak is. I don't know what the flavours are. So I'm just doing something I like.
That's cool. That's cool. Cultural appropriation in cake form.
I was really disappointed
No.
that he did miss the opportunity to completely encase it in chocolate. And then have a chocolate orange. That could have been fun.
And then Dawn French comes wandering through and goes...
It's not Terry's.
Yes. It's mine. I also need to ask these. When, like, because you're a school teacher by day, when they do the drug education at school, do they, like, how, like, parents would, like, go, no, you can't talk about, like, you can't let rap and stuff happen in school because it, like, Eminem's a bad influence. Picataro, did the parents come in and go, no, my child is being lured by the pineapple. You can't do this.
Most of the time it was just complaining about bad taste in music.
Okay, all right.
I mean, look, we didn't particularly mind because
No.
it meant they at least had some equipment.
And I
They had a pen and an apple.
and I assume it stopped them from doing Gangnam Style as well.
Nothing.
Or did
stopped.
that come before Pikachu?
No, other way around.
Okay, cool.
All right.
And Baby Shark was after all of that.
Anyway, Melissa. Now,
Okay,
Melissa.
imagine it 12 years from now.
Oh God.
There's a mosh pit, and like the kids from Baby Shark have grown up.
They're going
and
to.
they're on the tour.
They're going to. You've seen the Wiggles.
Yes, yes.
You know that happens. You've seen Peter Coombe.
Yes.
Peter Coombe
Oh my
does
god.
nothing. I'd go.
It's insane.
I'd go to a Peter Coombe.
I didn't think Peter Coombe was as popular.
Oh no, he was very popular.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know about your school, but at my school in particular, my primary school in particular, Peter Coombe was everywhere.
He wasn't in my year, but in my younger sister's year, because that was 2 years. Oh, you're my younger sister's age. That's it.
I love the fact you consistently go back to this massive gap between the two.
It's not a massive gap.
You're the
I
one who keeps
understand
making it
this.
massive.
Well, back then it would have been. You would have been like 2 classes below me, and that's just like a mazel.
But I was in a composite 4, 5, 6. We could have been in the same class. Thank you. Anyway, no, Peter Coombe was everywhere.
Yeah.
So was Don Spencer, by the way.
Look, it just thinking of him just makes me want a toffee apple. Like, oh my god! Like fruit shops don't sell toffee apples as much as they used to these days. Like, why not? Why?
They
Where have
decided
gone?
the sugar was bad.
They're still selling pineapples.
They don't sell the newspaper, Mama, really either. So, what's your point? I think we're finding out that Peter Coombe's... What I'm finding out about Peter Coombe is the younger generation would never understand Peter Coombe because 3/4 of the things he sings about don't exist anymore.
No. He also had a fruit salad song, didn't he? I'm pretty sure.
No, he was Mr. Clickety Cane,
Okay.
which was all about,
Mr. Clickety Clean.
yeah, belly flopping a pizza.
Oh, I remember that.
Brush
Brush your hair
your
with
hair with
a
brush your hair with a toothbrush.
Yeah,
Clean your
okay.
teeth with bubble gum. Fix the fence with sticky tape.
Wash your face in orange juice.
Yep.
Yes, okay.
Fry an egg on a slippery dip.
Jesus.
Belly flopping a pizza.
Oh my god, he did sing Juicy, Juicy Green Glass. Oh
Yes.
my god.
Yep.
I'd forgotten all these.
Told you. Look, and by the way, we're not detouring here out of fact. There was literally nothing else in the signature. With that in mind, the Peter Coombe classics.
Yeah. Ting, tang, tang, tong.
Yeah.
Wriggle and roll. Ooh.
Spaghetti bolognese was great.
Yes.
Unlike a yo-yo phase, unlike a pineapple phase apparently, but unlike a yo-yo phase, unlike a marble phase, I love it every day. Spaghetti bolognese. What I love, again, we talked about, Peter Coombe's era and the kids today wouldn't get it. Marble phase and knucklebone phase are both mentioned in the song Spaghetti Bolognese.
Ooh, imagine.
They've never heard of either of those two things.
No.
Not a chance.
Wow.
Anyway, Melissa made a kente, which is a fabric, green, red, and orange wrapped in yellow cake.
Yes.
Now, first of all, yellow cake. So,
Yes.
of course, obviously, nuclear, let's just say it. She's wrapping it in nuclear waste.
Yes.
But far more importantly, she turns around to the hosts and the judges and goes, I'm using a rare African flavour called vanilla.
And Darren's face lit up like a Christmas tree in the middle of New York City.
My feelings from this episode is that Melissa, having been screwed in my mind twice out of Star
This
Baker,
has gone what the fuck ever.
went, why the fuck am I going to try anything weird? Let's just go with vanilla. The correct call, it turned out. Molly turns around at this point, by the way, nothing else happens. We get to the end and Molly goes, they're going to cut into this thinking it's just boring white cake. And then, boom, celebration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, celebrate. Not even celebration.
No. Actually, you should do that line because your boom is very much Molly's boom. It's the same way.
Boom.
Yep. It was
celebration.
Very much
celebrate.
The same. Yeah, boom, celebrate. Judging.
It's why I keep forgetting Molly's like 16 or 17 now.
Yeah.
Is because or maybe I'm just very immature.
That's part of it.
Yes. But I think she's like 17 going on 40.
Yep.
But in the ADHD lane of 40, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because that's my kind of lane.
That's your lane.
Yeah.
So, Lorena.
Yes.
They said the colours were great, the coconut was delicious, Darren thought it was nice and moist.
Sweet.
No, not sweet, nice and moist. Elliot, the decoration was great, the piping was fun, but it wasn't neat inside, and the texture was slightly dry. But Darren added the vanilla works. This is a theme.
Are we finding his favourite?
Vanilla. Yeah. Some white bread with some water on the side for dipping. Molly, it looked like a party cake, which... Sure. The layers were good, the pineapple jam was perfect, and the coconut was great.
It was a coconut cake. So many coconut cakes. Where's the boozy coconut cake?
Later on. Jason, they said, a bit of an issue wrapping it. Some good layers. The sponges weren't a great texture. The flavour compensates. And this again feels a little bit like what we said about the critiquing and then going, oh no, it's lovely. Dimmy, the icing looked good. The layers look well constructed. Orange, lime, and lemon work well. Of course they fucking well do. They're orange, lime, and lemon. That's not to critique Dimmy in any way, shape, or form. They're just stating the obvious. Talk about how she used them.
Yeah.
Armin, the embossing looked great. It was closer to a Battenberg. Nice, zesty aftertaste. But Rachel was the one who just turned around and said, yeah, but it's not a Sarawak. Like, he didn't make a Sarawak. Adrian, there were a few cracks. They said everything was a bit too compact. The rum wasn't strong, but the coconut was. Melissa, they said it looked fantastic. It was bright and it was vibrant. The flavour was good. And Darren Purchase uttered the phrase, I love vanilla.
Melissa's gone.
I've spent weeks.
Maybe this is Darren's whole problem, right? Because he is well known, as a dessert maker and whatever else.
And he wants punchy jam.
Yeah.
But he wants punchy jams.
With vanilla. Because you want a jam carrier. You don't want a jam overtaker. Maybe it's because he's always having people give him too fancy a flavour. He's just like, oh, I just crave a nice vanilla. Like, just something plain and simple.
You mean to tell me if we ever had Darren over, he'd just want a tea cake?
Yeah, a nice Madeira.
I think Madeira's too much.
Isn't that just essentially more vanilla?
No.
Oh.
No. It's too much. He just wants normal vanilla. Actually, a tea cake would be too bad because it's got cinnamon all over it.
Yeah, and fucking sultanas in it. No.
No, tea cake doesn't have to have cinnamon. Have sultanas in it.
Yeah, but it's got coconut on top and the icing.
Not always. Most tea cakes aren't iced. Butter tea cake.
Okay. Again, butter. I think we just bring out a jar of
vanilla.
A bottle of vanilla
essence. Hand me the bottle of vanilla essence.
Yeah, like the old lady that used to come into the
he just sculls it.
The Jules I worked at. It was terrible. I felt so sorry for her. She'd go up to the back and all the vanilla essence would be drunk.
Doesn't work, by the way. It does not work. Anyway, the technical. Darren's instructions are: watch your temper and don't bust my baubles. Thus begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, balls.
Yep. So tempered chocolate sponge, cherry compote, and a white chocolate cream with Kirsch in it. 2 hours and 15 minutes. They cut to Adrian, who goes, "It's a mean 2 hours and 15-minute recipe just to get balls."
and cream-filled balls too. Glittery cream-filled balls.
We then cut to the outside shed, where Rachel's first words to Darren were, "Look at them, they're so sparkly."
Look, when you like that, you lift your posh, you display your balls, and someone just gets all gushy about how sparkly they are.
That was also followed later up by
I'm sure that's happened several times at Mardi Gras.
They're super thin, and you get that nice snap, and you don't want that nice snap. Let me just know that's not a thing.
No.
Now,
if you hear any snapping in your balls, get yourself to an emergency room. That's all I'm saying.
Now, we temper, and they were tempering chocolate, and we got a couple of different examples of how to do this.
Like, once as a nurse, all I'm going to say is rock melon. Size of a rock melon.
Anyway.
You do not want that.
We got to the tempering.
Yes.
A couple of people had ways to do this. We had, obviously, the tray method. We had a tray down. People were tempering into the tray. That was really cool. We had a bowl method. We had the Adrian method, which was to turn them just upside down on the bench and pour all of the residual chocolate just all over everything, including like the packet of lint and like the bench. He wasn't aiming. He just went, yeah. Like, what were you expecting to happen, Adrian, when you tip the baubles upside down full of chocolate on just a bench? It goes everywhere.
Look, I'm going to skip. It's skipping ahead a bit. But I would like to see Mel her mindset, which is like, you know what? I'm going to make some tough balls. Like, you're not going to break my balls.
No, exactly.
Get it? Because she made thick
Mel,
balls.
however, did talk about the fact that she has her Christmas tree up all year round and the lights are always up.
That just takes away from the specialness.
Now,
Like, even me with my impulse control and ADHD executive function issues knows, if you have Christmas all year round, are you really going to enjoy Christmas?
having said that,
Yeah.
our lights go up pretty much now.
Yeah, because it's too fucking hot to put the lights
Well,
up
one,
in
because it's
December.
too hot to do that, and
You'll
second,
come out with heat stroke.
and secondly, because there's,
You'll be glowing redder than Rudolph's nose
But
if
sec-
you sit in the sunshine.
but secondly,
Yeah.
the other important point of this
yeah.
is that it's a full production.
Yeah,
I need months.
you do.
You know, I've already started work.
Well, a ghost with a pumpkin and a witch's hat on appeared, and
It's practice.
Halloween is your practice.
Yeah,
for
I've
Christmas.
already said I'm using Halloween lights as a practice for my Christmas lights.
All right.
I'm
okay.
testing some theories out by using inflatable Halloween things in the front yard.
I just like to think that you go in afterwards and you just paint the witch's hat red and pop a fuzzy ball on the end.
Don't think that hasn't already been contemplated.
Put a bow around the pumpkin like it's a present. It's the
already-
Christmas spirit.
That has already been broached. Anyway,
It's the ghost of Christmas present.
yep, certainly is.
It's got a present.
Certainly is. Now, speaking before, you talked about me being redder than Rudolph.
Yes.
We had the suggestion that Donna and Blitzen are the whingy reindeer.
Look, Blitzen, I'd believe that off. Donna, I just think, every time I think of a Donna, she's just a gossip.
Yeah.
So maybe she is a bit whingy in that. Like, she more bitchy than whingy. Because, you know, Donna strikes me as the hairdresser of the group. She's just there putting frosted tints in. She's putting the cap on. You know, the cap that
Yep.
they then pull what do they call them? The frosting tips.
Yep.
Yeah, just like she's got a
I
little...
mean, Dasher just feels vain.
Yeah.
Prancer.
Oh, best dancer in the bunch. But
Oh, God,
just
yeah. But ego.
can't hold it. Like, they're very Michael Flatley in their approach to...
Comet feels like they're there to do the work.
Yeah.
Like, Comet is there for no mess, no nonsense, just to do the work.
Vixen is a full boss bitch. Like, she's the one behind the scenes, you know, like having to basically wrangle in Prancer from prancing through the forest, settling Donna down when, you know, she's thinking that Blitzen said something nasty
Ironically
about
enough, though,
Yeah.
Cupid hates everything.
her. Fuck yeah. Just a big ball of
Loves
reindeer
nothing.
hate.
Loves nothing.
No.
Hates everything.
Yes.
Now, Molly then also commented that she had to make the trees smaller to fit in the balls. I'm just going to leave that there. We're going to move on. Elliot then gives a singing lesson. Now, they had a harmony for a good 3 seconds
Yep.
before... I don't know what happened.
What happens when I try and do a harmony?
It was great for 3 seconds.
My brain loses it.
They had 3-part harmony going for 3 seconds, and then all hell broke loose.
Yes.
Now, Molly was then shocked by demolding.
Yeah, big.
She's like, I don't know how you get them out of the molds. Bang! And she jumped about 4 miles in the air.
Yeah, boom! Demolding. And there's your episode title.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already Get Balls.
That's right, Get Balls.
It's already Get Balls. Then Dimmy got her ones out and they broke.
Got to fix your broken balls there, Dimmy.
Arvin-
Like I said, you don't want that.
Well, I mean, Dimmy's balls broke, but Arvin's cream wouldn't stiffen.
Which is an issue some people have with their balls. I
And
guess, you know, it's okay.
Now,
It's perfectly normal for that to happen, and you just shouldn't put pressure on yourself.
we then get into the judging.
Not that you want stiff balls, but you know.
We then get into the judging.
Yes, we do.
Now, I'm just going to say, before we start this judging, the order of judging on this felt batshit. It felt batshit. Not that the wrong person won,
No.
or not that the wrong people were down the bottom. But the way that people were put into order felt really weird. So let's go through them. So we're going to start with Lorena.
Yes.
Everything looked good. It was tempered correctly. The chocolate sponge was light. The cherry was delicious.
She came fourth.
Then Dimmy. Not quite complete. The colour was vibrant. Rachel likes the generous booze, and the sponge had a nice denseness.
She was third?
We'll go through that in a minute. I'll go through the order in a minute.
Fine.
Elliot. Missing a top off a bauble. The chocolate was too pliable, and the cream was well made. And again, that's that praise thing. Mm-hmm. Jason. Only 2 ornaments. Nice flavour. The kirsch was over whipped, but flavourful. Molly. Good tempering. The cake was perfect. Fantastic. Adrian. Attached the string really well. The temper was good. The cream was out the side of one of them.
Yeah, he had leaky, creamy balls.
But the flavours were all there. Mm-hmm. Arvin's red ball was super sparkly. Too thick, however, and that's why the bloom was happening through them. Mm-hmm. They said the whole thing was out of balance and the cream was missing. Mel had all 3 ornaments, all complete. The chocolate was thick. The components are in there.
Yeah.
So from that judging... Yes. If you got, from last to first, Jason, Elliot, Arvid, Dimmy, Mel, Lorena, Molly, Adrian, good luck to you. Because Arvin's were out of balance, missed the cream completely, too thick, was blooming.
Yeah.
And I know that Jason didn't put one there. Elliot was missing a top. Arvin was missing one whole element and none of it balanced.
Well, look, in the judge's mind, they probably thought that missing a whole top.
I mean, Elliot's chocolate bent.
Yeah, which means that he should be below Arvin.
Well, Arvin's didn't have any balance because there was no cream in there at all.
Yeah, and that's just one element that was wrong.
But it was missing.
Yeah, it was missing, but the others elements weren't correct. Like there might have been a bit of. Look. It doesn't in the. Why are we even bothering with this? Because the technical doesn't matter.
It doesn't. You are right, 100%.
Why are we even bothering?
Why are we debating this? Mel came fourth. Lorena came third.
Yeah.
Molly came second. Adrian won with cream out the side of his ball. And good luck for you, Adrian, in doing that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Why are we even debating a challenge that?
Look, there's probably many people who've
had cream out the side of their ball.
Yeah, and
see a doctor.
It's been a winner.
See a doctor though. Seriously.
If that's where it's coming out of,
yeah. If it's coming out the side of the ball, see your GP immediately.
Yeah.
As Pele would say, I would.
Yes.
Anyway, kitchen troubles making you angry, feeling frustrated by your focaccia. That souffle rise rage got you down? Well, we can help. Come to us, Chocolate's Tempered Therapy, led by our world-renowned behavioural therapist, Pastiche Chocolat. We've got the kitchen know-how to turn your fondants into fondues. Simply enter into our 12-step program and you'll be sure to never smash another pie and rage at poor oven seals again. Chocolate's Tempered Therapy, when you don't want to crack under the pressure. So we go on to the showstopper.
Yes.
All right.
Now, I'm confused, right? We're in Australia. And they're always telling us to slip, slop, slap, that the UV rays are bad. But here, we want UV. Like, we want neon.
Do you think the cleaners really scrubbed the bloody shed?
Oh my God, imagine.
Imagine the black light.
Oh, what if there was like a...
Everyone was so clean that day. Anyway.
This is what I just have to say this, Jason. Blood splatter. That's all you needed. Was like a blood splatter with like
which you couldn't see until you put the black light on.
And red rum written on it. Yeah.
Now, a spooky blacklight cake. Now, glow under the UV light. Now, look, there is a part of me that went, what the hell's the point of this? I get the idea if they wanted to do something cool that looked awesome and it's a showstopper.
Party fun time.
Yeah, but like, I'm not going to any party where the whole party is in UV blacklight.
Are you shitting me?
Where
were you in the 90s? Where were you in the early 2000s?
Avoiding rooms full of people covered in splatter.
Okay, but, you know, it was a thing. Like, we're just bringing back... It's okay, it's ex-ravers, now bakers, because they're older, sensible adults. No more Molly on the dance floor and...
Molly's definitely on the dance floor. She's under 18.
No, she's not. That Molly is not on the dance floor.
Speaking of that Molly, we did have a bit of a conversation about it before we started recording. And she definitely feels more and more like a member of a country practice every time we see her.
I know,
Like, we made the reference very early on, and most people obviously wouldn't get it because you're all too young.
Yeah.
But...
Or from Canada.
And by the way, hello, Canadians. Sorry, we'll be doing it later this year. Trust us, it's coming. But Molly is sounding more like, again, country practice, CWA.
She's not... She's going to be the new empress of it. Like,
the last one... Her moving vehicle was a ute. Her dream car is a ute.
Yeah, she's just gonna pwn the CWA.
Yes.
Like next year's Easter show scone bake-off thing that they do, it's just gonna be Molly, one woman army.
Just a hoon turning up in a pink ute. Throwing scones.
Out of the back.
She's gonna be the Holden Precision driving team in the middle of the ring, throwing it. Well, they're not Holdens anymore because, they're gone.
But like the Paddle Pop Lion. But instead it's scones and jam and cream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Lorena. Death by chocolate.
Yeah.
Swiss meringue on the outside of it.
She's like, you've heard of a Devonshire tea, you've heard of a Cornish tea, we're serving it out the back of the ute. It's a fucking Wagga tea. Like it's,
Speaking of Molly, because we'll jump to her now because you're talking about Molly.
All right.
Arch cake. And the reason why it's an arch cake is apparently every time she makes an arch cake, her father goes, "Oh, look, a tombstone," which makes me worry a little bit about their relationship. And I don't know who I'm more worried for.
I just want to know when she's okay.
How often do you make arch cakes? Are you a fan of Play School?
Maybe it's a lot of rainbows and stuff. Like there's a lot of arch-shaped things, aren't there? Yeah, you could be the Play School window.
As was famously said once on
Harbour Bridge.
As was famously said once on Taskmaster, there's strength in arches.
There is. It's not how you get ants. Oh wait, that's Archer.
That's Archer. Yeah. But no, I've.
There's Veronica and what's her face?
No, that's Archie.
Yeah, Jughead. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so an arch cake, but she actually made the tombstone.
Yes.
Fondant glowing fingers coming out of the grave.
Great idea.
Cinnamon cake with caramelized apple.
Oh, what she should have had though is full on friggin' Carrie hand coming out.
That would be
brilliant.
So we'll go back now.
Carrie, one of those films that you're like, good on her.
Exactly.
Like
Girl done good.
Yeah.
Oh, you and Midsummer. And Midsummer sitting there going, "Oh, it's so wonderful and lovely." And I'm just there going, I fear for my life. Anyway, Dimmy, orange chocolate mud cake with lychee eyeballs. I love that's an order.
Yeah. I loved her decoration concept and the execution was brilliant. Like I really did like her spider web effect, the spiders. And I think what I liked about hers is that it was densely packed with the spookiness.
Yeah.
Like with the spooky objects. I do appreciate, for a show like this, you can't go gore,
no,
but you can go spooky. And the way she did the eyebrows. Imagine she's just done eyebrows. Ooh, spooky eyebrows.
Single,
just one big monobrow. Like the in little flowers is very cute.
Now, here's the real horror story.
Oof.
Now, I do agree a little bit that Jason's cake wasn't necessarily that spooky.
No.
Or that fearful. However, what he did that was quite clever was on the outside, it was very,
plain.
It had the voodoo doll, but it was very plain. Mm-hmm. But here's what Jason did that was amazing.
What?
When you cut in to Jason's cake,
yeah,
the horrors were revealed. I'm referring, of course, it took you a while to get where I'm going. Matcha! Fucking matcha!
Okay.
Fucking matcha! There is no bigger horror story in Bake Off.
So I have a feeling, right, what Jason intended to do was in the glow-in-the-dark dust is on the outside, do things like hexes on the washing up.
Yeah.
Like, beware, Chris's nightmare, written on the outside, like very,
He got rushed for time.
Yes. No, what happened was he made the voodoo doll and it's sitting there all nice and comfortable, not realizing that the voodoo doll was him. So he just ended up in a corner, sitting there, because of the voodoo doll. You know?
Also, can I just point out, they didn't bother with the what are they thinking? What are they saying? They didn't even bother with that this week.
No.
Maybe they were scared of the marcher.
Couldn't give a shit.
All that.
Yeah.
Maybe finally Darren and Rachel looked at each other and went, why do we even bother doing this? We only judge one challenge and it's now.
Exactly. Why are we considering a technical?
Yeah, why are we having a conversation about who might be in trouble and who might be looking for Star Baker? Because quite clearly, this is the only challenge that matters.
Exactly.
Moving on. Arvin. Pandan and coconut covered in modelling chocolate, and it's based on this Filipino sort of horror monster.
Evil baby.
Elliot went with a pumpkin patch cake.
I mean, I'd be quite freaked out if we heard the wail of a baby coming from somewhere inside a house.
Yes. So Elliot, pumpkin patch cake, genoise sponge, choc hazelnut with a Swiss meringue buttercream. It just sounds...
How fluffy was his batter, though? Like, that was
very fluffy, but it also just...
It was so fluffy it wouldn't die.
Elliot, I say this with all love.
Yeah.
It just looked like a normal cake with keep out written on it.
Yeah, look, I feel like you need to go hang with some goths in a real graveyard. Pumpkins all well and good.
There aren't many on cruise ships.
Yeah. Adding some worms and leaves gives it more of a garden feel. Adding some crosses, is it just a nun's garden? And she's just dropped her...
That sounds like a euphemism. Is it a nun's garden?
Yeah, that's why it says keep out.
Keep out. All right, Melissa. Melissa had cherry jam. She had the fondant. She had the African mask pattern. It looked really cool.
It did.
Adrian.
I really would have loved it though if she picked up the mask, put it on her face, and suddenly became Melly Pete. She is the queen of the baking beat.
See, obviously not in a vaguely disrespectful way, Mel, but it also resembled the mask in Crash Bandicoot. It looked a hell of a lot like the mask they use in Crash Bandicoot Warped. I'm just saying. Adrian, the scary go round. It's like, does that mean merry-go-round or scary go round? Checks the card. No, merry-go-round. Sorry, my bad.
This is when you just needed him to be standing in the corner playing a hurdy-gurdy.
Yes.
Just...
Pandan and coconut with a mango coulis.
A bloody mango coulis.
Yes, a bloody mango coulis.
Oh, sorry. I think you'll find it's called a ghoulie.
No. It was a coulis.
I'm trying to make it...
It's right in front of me. It's right in front of me.
No,
Now, we need to just quickly move on.
Why? Because I'm trying to make things fun. Oh, because the ghoulies are like balls, and we've already been to the balls.
It's been ball city limits.
It's too many balls in the ghoulies. No.
So, there wasn't actually much more to this challenge.
No.
Lorena had, it's not symmetrical, it's just fun. Like me. Molly's work closing the fridge with the cake in her hands was absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
And then the thing that, obviously that lit up better than I thought it would, but Elliot was trying to show off how it looked by waving a UV torch over his leaves. And it just looked to me like a guy waving a normal torch over some leaves. It didn't look UV at all. It just looked like a guy waving a torch over some leaves. Obviously, it did go a little bit better. Quick note. Some of these cuts were really obvious, unfortunately. Dimmy's cake was in front of the judges a lot.
Yeah.
So, Dimmy, Darren called her design triggering.
I guess for all the arachnophobes out there, should have had a trigger warning at the
Well constructed. The chocolate was intense, perfectly balanced. Arvin, they said it was creepy. Darren said pandan's one of his favourite flavours. Along with vanilla, apparently. Did you know that? Balanced with the coconut quite well. Darren then said it was the best thing since sliced head.
Keep going, because my brain is not... I'm not. I'm not.
Elliot said it's not...
Anyone else giggling out there?
Yep.
You're my kind of people.
Elliot, they said it wasn't terrifying, but it did glow. Succeeded in the black forest flavour he was going for. Darren did say where the sponge was halved, it probably should have been cut in thirds. Mel, they said the colours really popped. The layers of the cake were amazing. The sponge was moist. She used Kirsch in there again. That was great. They said it was absolutely spot on.
big Kirsch vat in the
Yes.
distillery.
Molly's glowed really well, looked good inside, the texture was lovely, but Rachel was like, I love cinnamon in my cakes, I wanted more.
Oh, we're starting to get to know Rachel now. So vanilla if you're going to win Darren's heart, cinnamon if you're going to win Rachel's.
So Lorena, it glowed really well. The rib cage in particular came out superbly. Like, the bright colours on one side.
Yes.
And then you had just that yellowy glow, shadowy glow on the chocolate rib cage, which looked really cool.
You're sounding like one of those morticians that are really, or coroner that's really into their work.
Really into their work, yeah.
The rib cage came out so well.
The layers were uneven, same thing. Consistency was dense and chocolate. The consistency in the cake was dense and chocolatey. It was very well tempered as well. Mm-hmm. Jason's, they said it looked great, but it might be a bit simple. Darren liked the glowing swish. The layers were neat. The Earl Grey came through. The cherries brought it together. They said that it needed more terrifying detail. I would again, Darren, refer you back to the fact that he used matcha.
He was going more for a psychological thriller
it worked.
rather than
it worked. It was the cake I was scared of the most. Adrian, the glow was good. The bleeding effect was great. The cake was well balanced. Darren loved the pop of the mango inside as well with the blood. Mm-hmm. And then they had a 2.5 second conversation.
Yep.
Before they announced that Mel was the star baker, and you've never seen anyone more shocked.
Yeah, particularly when they made a reference to, they sing a duet, and I'm thinking, hold on, Elliot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mel looked very much like the sort of person that had thought they had Star Baker wrapped up twice and lost it and just went, well, it's not me. And I think she nearly fell off the damn stool. Jason was far more reserved. I think Jason knew that he was probably in big trouble. So, unfortunately for Jason, his story ends there. But
and look, an Oscar is an Oscar, even if that Oscar is awarded 2 films after.
Exactly.
You deserve the win.
This is Martin Scorsese winning for The Revenant. Did he deserve it for about 5 other things? Yes.
Kate Winslet winning for was it The Reader or whatever it was?
Whatever she won for was like, a couple of movies after she deserved it. It's winning the Oscar for a Lifetime Achievement Award as opposed to the movie she should have won it for. Mel winning Star Baker for she did a good job this week, but she did a better job in the other 2 weeks.
Yeah, and look, it was one of those.
I thought Lorena was actually really hard to find this week.
Yeah, I thought she had it, but it was a week. It was a celebratory week.
It happened. It happened.
Boom! It's over.
Yeah, boom, done. Get balls. Anyway, that will do us for this week. Thank you everyone for listening. Again, for anyone who's listening from Canada, we will be doing Canadian later in the year. Time crunch is too much of a thing.
Yeah, we don't get paid for this shit.
We don't get paid for this. It's
Any
very busy.
multi-millionaires want to pay us, just a podcast?
Yeah,
we'll take it.
Anyone wants to pay us to do it, and we will 100%.
Like a good living, like a livable,
wage.
What we're earning now.
I don't think anyone's paying that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm still Chris.
And I'm still Kristie.
And we will catch you all later.
Balls.